Going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I can see you're muted. Well, hello. Welcome.
We are live.
Welcome to episode 3 of the Marathon Results Data Visualization app, also known as enduranceresults.com. Is that the site?
That's the site.
All right. So I'm Cheddar. I'm the guy on the left, the icon on the left.
I'm
And you are?
Habez.
Habez.
I'm the guy on the right, pondering what to build next.
What are we going to build today?
Excellent segue, Cheddar. So, if we check out enduranceresults.com, we have a landing page with 2 dummy data race results. And right now, the design direction is mostly completed. Obviously, there's some polishing that needs to be done later. But today, we're going to work on connecting this page with our only data table for right now, which is /2018/marathon, which loads the 2018 Memphis Marathon race results. This is real live data, and we're going to connect this one event to the landing page. So when you do your search, you'll click on the card. Right now, obviously, we'll only have one card that's clickable, the Memphis Marathon for 2018. But when you do your search, you'll click on that one card, and then it'll take you to that other page. So tonight, we're going to try to get all the routing connected end to end, and then we can start automating the other race result uploads so that you can search for many different ones and go to many different tables. But for now, we just want to connect one of them end to end.
Well, we'll collect more than one, right? Because we're going to parse all of the files that we already have, and that's going to populate our list. Is that how we're going to do it, or are you just planning to manually route them?
Well, so that's a great question. Right now, we only have data for the 2018 Memphis Marathon as just kind of like solidified race data to work with.
I thought we had other ones in there, no?
Not yet. I've got some JSON for the Dallas Marathon for 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And I have plans on scraping data for the top 10 marathons in the country. So New York Marathon, Chicago, Boston. There's a list of top 10 most popular marathons that I'm planning on scraping. But for tonight, none of those are ready. We only have the Memphis Marathon ready.
Okay.
But I mean, you could automate, like, once you click on an event like Chicago Marathon, it just takes you to an empty table. If we
Well,
want to do that.
I thought our data in the dropdowns was being driven by all of our JSON files we had, because we have a whole bunch of JSON files. What thought you had data from? But it was only one marathon. You mean just all the years? Okay.
Yeah, these are like 2003 to 2018. I don't even know if I want to go that far back yet. The other day I was considering maybe only doing back to like 2008 for every event. So 2020 to 2008 would be across the board as I'm scraping new data. But yeah, right now we just have Memphis Marathon. Now, but here's what we can do if we want. Public. search criteria. I moved everything under here. Race cities, I guess, would be where we want to start. So we can have search criteria for the top 10 marathons in the country. So we can go ahead and make the search work for, you know, our 10 races. New York, Dallas, Boston.
So when a user selects like one of these, how do we know what URL to send it to? We're just going to like match them up, or?
Yeah, so
Look at that page. It's got the bar that goes all the way across, and then the results are all tiny.
which one?
The Google page. Never mind, just forget it.
Okay. So duplicate tab. Every event's going to have a year, so like 2018 / marathon. So this is probably not the best URL structure for this page. We want a year. Actually, I think the order that we wanted ideally have is like city. So like Memphis /
Yeah.
event / year, maybe. I don't know. I'm making this up as I go. So maybe the URL structure would be city, event type, and year. That feels a little out of order, but we can come back
I would
to
say
that.
maybe city year event.
Okay, I like that. 2018.
I mean, we could theoretically go either way, but it's more likely that people would come to a year page than an event page, right? I mean, like if they would look at 2018 and they'd probably want to switch between events. It doesn't matter either way.
Yeah.
It would work, but
Well, that's a great question. So if they randomly just like went to /Memphis / 2018, I
you would
think
see
we
all
should.
the events for that year. But what if they wanted to see all marathons? What would the URL structure be then?
All marathons.
For like all Memphis marathons, you know, like regardless of the year.
So I don't really have a plan for that. My gut tells me that we should try and stay on this page as much as possible. So like maybe the URL structure could update the query for this. I don't know.
I see what you mean. Okay. Yeah, so we wouldn't have. Would you have to have all three in order to get to a page then?
Yeah, that was the plan.
That's fine. I mean, that's fine to start with for sure. Because that's how you would view the results of a thing. But you also were mentioning before that you want to have, like, if you search for 2018, you could see all the results that happened in 2018.
Yeah.
But that could link you to all the different races. Each card would be a different race, right? Like Chicago Marathon 2018.
Yeah. So, okay, I see where you're going with this. And yes, I'm on the same page. If the user comes here and they only select a year, or if they go to a URL like /2018, they the default experience that they're going to see would be a list of cards that match that search criteria. So all marathon events for every city for 2018 would show up down here, and you could scroll down if there were more results. If they have a city and a year, same thing. If they go to the URL for like /2018 / Dallas, you would still see this page with updated search criteria and cards for that criteria. The only time you would ever go to the table is if all three were present. If only two parameters are present, then you would see cards.
You would still be on the search results page.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that work? Is that going to come back to bite us? What do you think?
I think that works.
Okay. Now,
The
I
only
don't
thing
know.
I think for page, like for SEO wise, it would be nice to have like an all events in 2018 or all Dallas events in 2018, etc. Like that would be SEO beneficial, but that is something you could build on later. I mean, it doesn't have to be right now.
So yeah, I agree. My fear is managing too many pages up front, because then we have to design for those pages. But that's something you could scale later, like you said. But how do you think we can manage this kind of dynamic routing with search in React Router? So this is something that is kind of new to me.
You're not
If a
using
user
React Router.
types
You mean NextRouter?
Yeah, I'm sorry, NextRouter. If the user only enters two URL parameters, so like /2018 / Dallas, can we dynamically update the search on this page to match the routes?
Yeah, if you're going to update this page, it would probably be query parameters and not like a whole URL rewrite, because that would be indicate different pages,
Right, but if a user goes to /2018 / Dallas, like hard codes it, how would we handle that?
Well, right now it would be a 404, right? Because you don't have that page. And you said you wanted to hold off on them.
Okay, so 404.
But that's what I mean for like SEO purposes, that if someone wanted to link directly to that page, you could either do it one of two ways. You could have the permalink URL, which would probably be better for SEO, or you could have the query param URL, which is something they could share with someone else, but it probably won't show up in search results unless you add like, kind of a sitemap of pages and it has that URL built into it. Otherwise, how would Google know to get to that URL?
Okay, so if we entertain the idea for a permalink page structure, and the user enters in /2018, we would go to a separate page for all events under 2018.
Yeah, it would probably be like an event result page that lists out all the events for 2018.
Now, how would that coincide with if they just entered 2018 here? Would it be somewhat redundant?
No, if they're on the search page, I would just show that to them live here. The 2018 URL route is if they landed directly on that page from search, or if somehow you link to that page,
Okay, So if they're on here interacting with these drop downs and updating the criteria, we won't worry about changing the URL. We'll just leave it enduranceresults.com, and we'll dynamically load the cards that match their criteria. But they can also just go to a specific page with one search parameter, right?
It would be kind of like an index page of all the results for that year or for that city or whatever.
Got it.
But
Okay.
that's a separate feature than just like the search feature you're working on here.
These are according to Running USA. Come on. I hate when they make me click through the cards like this. Okay, so New York Marathon, Chicago Marathon.
Is this ranked by the most popular or?
No, I don't want the best running retreats. So yeah, in terms of attendance, like the largest user base, these are the races that get the most signups. So New York, Chicago. I'm doing Dallas because I'm biased to Dallas. I don't know if it's actually one of the top 10. Boston. Honolulu.
Mm.
How do you spell Honolulu?
Lulu.
Honolulu, Los Angeles. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. This will give us our data to work with. And what we can do, since we don't have the scraped data for the other cities yet, if you click on like Dallas Marathon, then we should be able to just go to an empty table, right? So the routing will work, but the data just won't load.
We'll need to update our routing a little bit because it's not specific to the cities yet. Marine Corps takes place in Memphis. Is that what it said?
No, Arlington, Virginia.
Oh.
All right. Stupid prettier.
Why doesn't it want to format that one right?
I don't know. That's weird that it's doing that. Watch. Oh, there we go. Okay, this is good enough for now. I think we have a few events that we can choose between to make sure our routing is working. Only one of them is going to actually have data, but all of the others should load gracefully with just an empty table.
And is this currently populating that dropdown that you have on the page?
Yes. So New York, Chicago, Boston, Dallas, Honolulu, Los Angeles, Memphis. Race type, marathon, half marathon, 10K, 5K. And then the years, I'm just doing down to 2016 for right now. Or your fancy search box.
What select component did you use?
Just React select.
Cool.
Okay, routing. First things first. I don't think we're loading cards for every event. So if I do like Memphis 2018, Marathon. Actually, these select boxes aren't even plugged up to the cards at all.
Yeah. That's the actual site, though. You don't want to be running off of that one, right?
Right.
You should probably close that so we don't keep going to it.
Yeah.
So just the search keyword is tied to the ones right now, or what?
/marathon. Correct. So the search box that you helped me code the other night is still working as you had coded it. So if I type in Chicago, it updates.
Mm.
The select boxes are not connected to any cards. So I guess what would be the first thing you would do?
So when the boxes change, you want to change the card results. Is that right?
Yes. And then when a card is clicked, we would go to a table. But this routing that we currently have isn't going to work.
Yeah, so I would see those as two different features to work on, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you want to do first? But we don't have other data for the other marathons yet, so we would need a new URL structure. So if you search for like Memphis or something where we don't have data, how are we going to show results right now? How are we going to know what to show results for if we don't have that data yet? Are we going to fake it?
Yeah, so that's what I was saying a second ago. We can show like Dallas Marathon with an empty table. So the routing can work and
Oh, I
the
see.
table
Yeah.
will just be empty for now.
Okay. So we'll set up the links, but it just won't have any data in it yet.
Yeah. And the routing should be driven by this list here. So if I update this list of cities, the routing just updates accordingly. But if we want to manually do it right now, I know that we have this like pages folder, event year, event type.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to need to change that structure because we need to add the city as well.
Okay.
Right?
Yes. So we need a to-do list here. README. So connect select boxes to actual cards. Update routing structure and folder architecture. And then connect cards to correct route. And then lastly, create landing pages for /year. So if they only enter in one or two of the criteria in the URL, we would go to a landing page. Otherwise, the cards would route to the correct table. So like, so it would be, did we decide on, so /year?
No, I think
Or no.
/city /year /event.
Got it.
And for those other landing pages, I think they would be prefixed with specific things like by year /year, by city /city, just so, because our dynamic routes will be taking over, you know, some of those things. It would be confusing to switch to have like that first parameter be year or city or an event type. So it could be confusing that way. But feel free to just leave them like that, shorthand for now.
No, you're right. I don't want to make this unnecessarily confusing. So it can either be /city or /city year. And then if it's /city year event type, it has a table. Oh, but
yeah,
we also need, so we're not going to have a page for all marathons. Like if they just want to see all marathons, that would be.
well, that's what we could. That's what I was talking about. It could be like /by event /marathon.
What do you mean by event?
Yeah, by
Like
event
have
would
a.
be, it would be like a static name, and then marathon would be the dynamic. Or no, marathon could be the event type.
Okay.
So by putting it under that sub route there, like by event, we know anything that comes through by event is going to be, the next parameter is going to be a marathon or event type.
Got it. Okay, I see what you're doing here.
And you could do like by city, by year. Those would be our landing pages. That would be for SEO purposes, or if people wanted to just browse all things by that. That could be an alternative way for them to view all of them in a list as compared to searching from the homepage.
So this pattern would apply to each one, right? So like /by city.
Yeah.
/by.
And it doesn't have to be by dash whatever. You can call it whatever you want, but I think that would be an ideal scenario. Because if you saw that URL, you would know what you're gonna see on that page.
I like that. I think that's a great strategy.
But I vote we work on updating the structure and folder architecture to support the city year event type URL. Because then we can start linking to them from the cards.
Cool. Okay. So am I zoomed in enough? Can you see my folder architecture?
Yeah, it's good.
Great. How's our stream looking? Do we have anybody chiming in?
Nobody's here.
Well, maybe someday.
Maybe Friday nights are bad times. You know, people are tired of code. They just want
They
to
have
get drunk.
lives.
They don't have lives. I mean, they're probably chilling or something. I don't know, but yeah, we might want to reconsider Friday nights now that I guess COVID's not really easing up, but it might not be the best night. I don't know.
Well, that's a conversation for another time. But
Yeah.
I agree. Maybe we can revisit our schedule.
So there's two things we need to do. One would be update our pages route, and the other would be to update our data folder.
Okay, so first updating our pages route. So we need a folder. Stop me if I'm going in the wrong direction here. I'm just kind of jumping in. We need a folder for event city.
Yep.
And we're adding brackets around it to make it dynamic.
Yep.
And then we need to move event year under that.
Yep.
Update imports, yes.
Try to update them automatically. You'll see if it works. I think it should work fine.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
But if they did update, then why does it not show my Git status?
Because it's a whole moved file, maybe?
Yeah, maybe so.
But I know they did update because it's got 3 folders up now, you know?
So we need to do /Memphis/year/marathon.
Some of them didn't update, right, I guess.
BS code. Wait, did some of them update and some of them didn't?
You know what? You should kill the Next server and restart it because the file looks like it's updated, but it said it wasn't. So maybe it just didn't rebuild it correctly.
Let's see what the Dallas Stars are doing real quick. Dang. 4-4. This is an intense game.
Oh, man.
Stanley Cup, everyone.
Are they in overtime?
Yeah.
Oof, that's rough.
I think it's a commercial break right now. It's end of the, yeah, it just says end of the regular quarter.
Can't believe you're missing that. I'm sorry.
I recorded it.
Don't tell me what happens. All right, run the page. Does it load?
Well, how does it know what city to connect to?
It shouldn't matter right now because
Oh, yeah.
we're not using that data. We're just hard coding it. But can't resolve on line 3, but that code doesn't match what our code is.
Oh, you know what? I gotta save the file.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
You didn't save it?
Event city year type. City year type.
Did not match the provided path. Oh, we need to update our static, get static paths, build static paths or something in that file, in the event year below.
So like
Slash Memphis.
yeah, I was just thinking while I was typing this, can we pass in our public data for search criteria into get static paths?
We will eventually to generate the paths, yes. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, because I don't want to
Yeah.
hard code this every time I have a new event.
No, you won't. We'll end up pulling it from, yeah, our paths and, but
Later.
once we do that, it's going to try to generate that page. So let's get the empty pages working, and then we can do it for any page, any URL.
Cool. Okay, city year event type is now working. Woohoo!
Cool.
Okay, let's update our README.
Our to-do list.
Yeah, update.
Well, we do want to make it so that it can accept any city, though. Right now, it only works with Memphis. So,
Right.
and we also, yeah, we need to do, that was the easy part. The hard, not hard, but the more work is in making that city dynamic.
We can't talk tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm really
Words
drunk.
are hard.
It's
3
Friday
White
night.
Claws in.
4 Shirley Temples in.
Oh man. Okay, so the hard part, or the next part, is it what I alluded to a second ago? Do we want to update this with our search criteria?
We do, but we also, so we're going to need to pull from the list of cities, right? And we want to make routes for every one of those.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to do it for all the years, all the things that are available in the dropdown, right?
Mm-hmm. So we have
Okay.
city, race type, and year. And I've already got the JSON data in place. I just need to import that.
Yeah, so go ahead and pull that data into that event type file. I can't wait till you're done building this so I can rebuild it better. Just kidding.
It's up on GitHub if you want.
Oh no, it's not going to be a PR. It's going to be a rewrite.
Oh, are you going to fork my project?
No, I'm just going to rewrite the whole thing so there's no history of you ever existing.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. One thing we could do to make this simpler, if you update your node path, you won't have to do to like SRC. You won't have to do well. It won't work with Okay, so you can update your node path so that you can not have to do all the level up directories up, you know, and you can do kind of a root thing. It would make it a little cleaner, but
So cities, types, years. If our search criteria is in the public folder,
so I vote we add the node path thing that I'm talking about. Do you want to do that? It'll make importing these a lot easier.
Yeah, that's fine. Search. We're still going to need this folder, search dash.
Yeah.
Criteria. All right. Update the node path.
So add a .env file to your root.
Okay.
And then add all caps node underscore path. Equals dot / I think that's what it would be. And then save that. Reboot your next. I think you might need to reboot it just so it loads that environment file. And then instead of / criteria, search criteria, do public /. So now that's going to set the root path on your imports to be each one of those folders. So instead of doing like up, you could do src / components. And then no matter what level structure you pull it in, it pulls it from that root folder.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that should fix it. Try it. Just try to change it on one of those and see if it works.
Wah, wah. What happened?
Is there an error? Your JSON data is messed.
JSON data.
From platform?
Is this the stuff we just imported? Yeah, that has something to do with the env we updated.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe we just can't do the ./. Maybe just I think in the past I've done like ./src, so I pull it out of there, but then that won't give us access to the public folder. Let me look at their docs real quick. Oh. Okay, so they do it differently. Let's delete that env. And we want to create a file called jsconfig.json in the root.
JS just .jsconfig?
No, jsconfig.json. And then do an object with a key of compiler options. That's camel cased or kebab, whatever, not kebab, camel case, yeah. And then that's an object, and it has base URL. And the value is dot. Okay, and then save that, restart next, and see if that works.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah, the node path works in Create React App, I think it is. So I guess this ties into Webpack or something like that, into the next build tool, and it sets that for you, which is nice. Okay, so you can refer to any of those root folders, which really we'll just do public or src. But now, if you move the files around too, it won't matter. It'll make it a lot cleaner. You should select it up top and do the Command D.
One more.
Boom.
Okay,
right.
race cities, types, and years. And then if we come all the way back down, our path is, let's close some of these files. Okay, so our paths are gonna have race cities, race types, race years.
Oh, wow, we just straight up returned paths like that before? That's interesting. Usually they make you do it in like the params kind of thing, I think.
Yeah, I forget where we left off on this last time. So can we just dynamically pass this into the array? Like as a string?
We'll generate a full array. Do you want to do that? Do you want me to write that for you?
Generate a full array. So is it just gonna, I mean, I know the string.
You're gonna have
template.
to loop over them all.
Oh yeah, we can't just do a string template of the race cities because there's multiple cities. So
you're gonna have to do a nested loop.
Like a for loop?
Triple nested loop.
For loops?
I would do a map.
Isn't this a job for reduce?
Nah, I don't think so. No, I don't know. I would probably start with with a map, and then if it feels like it needs to factor in, go from there.
Okay.
Or what we actually, you don't need the index. Don't take the index.
I just do it because it bothers you at this point.
No, you don't. You do it because it's habit. But it makes it more confusing, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think.
I like it. Gives me peace of mind.
Your linter would throw an error, though, and say your index is defined but never used.
Prettier gets rid of it if you
Really?
save with
That's-
prettier and it's...
So
Yeah.
you're writing the extra code and then it deletes it?
Yep. Okay. So a map inside a map inside a map.
This might not be the best way to do it, but because we could just create all of the year/race type URLs, have an array of that, and then loop through all the cities and create them from there, you know? Because those will always be the same. We're just going to point it out for every URL right now, right? You're not going to... You're going to say every year gets every race type. Otherwise, we're going to be doing a duplicate work over each year or each city.
Yeah, yeah. Every year, ultimately, every race type will be connected to a year and city. I don't know. I'm trying to think through the best way to do this.
It's kind of a fun little coding challenge. Code kata. You want to write yours and I'll write mine?
Well, let's make sure we have the challenge defined correctly. So
Okay.
what exactly is the end goal that we're trying to accomplish here?
To get all the URLs. So you should have like, every city should have a URL for each event and each year. So there's 4 events, is that right? 4 events, so each year would have 4 URLs. And then each city would have the last 10 years, was it?
Yeah, so event. No, what was it?
It's a race dash something.
Oh yeah, race types. So can I move this down here? Window. All my keyboard shortcuts are backfiring on me now. So yeah, we have race, city. Oh, here we go. Okay. Race, city, race types.
Oh, they got this nice little panels going now.
Yeah. So for cities, we have New York, Chicago, Boston, Dallas, Honolulu, Los Angeles, Memphis. Types, we've got marathon, half marathon, 10K, 5K. For years, let's just do right now we can just do 2020 through 2018. And
Why
actually,
not just leave them all in there?
okay,
I guess it doesn't matter. It's going to be dynamically generated, so
yeah. We don't need 2020 because we don't have any data for that yet.
and there
So
probably won't be any
2019,
data, right?
yeah, some races are trying to open up later in the year. Like they're hoping that they can open up depending on the COVID cases in that city, but we'll see.
Mm.
Okay, so 2019 through 2016. This is somewhat arbitrary. I haven't decided on how many years back we want to support, but this will give us some criteria to work with for our URLs in search.
Yeah.
Okay, so the code kata that we're trying to accomplish is paths will equal a dynamic array of city / year / event type. Right?
Yep.
So we want to dynamically generate this array from the data on the left and then return the paths array into our routes. Yeah, we can.
Can you save
You're going to
that?
finish it.
Yeah, save that, push it up, and then I'll code it side by side, and then we can compare results.
Sure. Yeah, you're going to finish this before me. This is new territory for me, but it'll be fun to challenge each other, I guess.
I'm going to take a different approach. I don't think I'm going to do the triple nested one.
Begin updating routing. I want to be conscious of time, so we planned on doing an hour and 30 minutes, right?
We're 59 minutes in, almost.
Okay.
So we still got a half hour. I think we got enough time to generate these routes, and then hopefully just make it so pages without data don't load anything, right? We'll try to load our data dynamically. I think that's possible.
Okay.
Okay, let me pull mine down. What is this called? Results UI?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's a lot of files there.
It's all that JSON data.
No, a lot of changes since I last pulled it, because it's got all your new styling changes as well.
Oh, yeah.
Did not open. Okay, there we go. Have you started yet?
Who's going to share their screen with the channel? I think you should share yours because
I
mine's
don't
going
want
to
you
be
to copy
embarrassing.
my code.
I'm not going to copy your code. I'm going to try it on my own, but
All right, I can share my screen. Let me get back there.
mine's going to be a lot of trial and error. I want to figure out this map direction, but
Triple map.
yeah, I know it's going to be sloppy.
Okay.
So ultimately, we want a new array that we push into, right? So we're going to have to create a paths array.
Why is this thing taking forever to load? Was I? Oh. That's weird. I think it's 2018/marathon. Okay. Page is loading. So I'm going to loop over the race years. I'll start with the paths, the empty paths. I'm going to call this short year paths. Did you mute yourself or did you leave?
Yeah, I muted myself. There was some background noise going on, but I'm still coding.
Okay. Okay. So I'm starting with year paths. I'm going to try to generate the routes that are like 2018/marathon, 2018/half marathon. Then I'm going to take those and turn them into full paths, like Memphis/your path. So down here, that will eventually be that. So to start with a year, basically just going to do year paths.push. Year slash event, because it's actually the event. Can you mute your shit? Your keyboard's annoying. Thank you.
Fine.
Thanks, honey. So that's going to push all of them onto the year paths. And then I just need to loop through the cities and push them onto the paths there. City slash year path. And then that will take over all of our paths. Let me console log that out. I think that's it. Is it really that simple? Let's see. I'm not sure where that will log it out. Maybe I should just do a build instead, because that will show us all the paths that we have. You're not cheating, are you?
No, but
Oh, object. That's because, yeah, they're not. I get it.
so what I did with the 3 maps is, I don't think this is accurate, but I have race cities.map, race years.map, race types.map, and inside my child race types.map, I tried creating a dynamic string and then just pushing that, but I don't think it's working.
I forgot they were objects, but this should work. Okay. Does not match. Oh, interesting. So we can't do. I think it's because of the params thing, though. Oh no, it should be slash in front. I'm surprised to see that the way you built it is you just gave it URLs. When I've seen it in the docs, you have to give it like an object, and then you have to name each param as well, which was interesting. I wonder if because we did it this way, if it's not going to give us our prop types correct, but I think it still will. Maybe it's just a shorthand way of doing something. All right, I generated 112 paths. Didn't show them all, but let me. Let me console log them out for the fun of it. And see if it will spit them all out for me. There they are.
Boom. That wasn't too hard.
No, yeah, in my head I thought it was going to be harder than it was. So you could do it all in the triple thing that you did, but
Yeah.
basically what you're doing is each city or each year you're going to loop more iterations than you would here. But I don't know about the big O notation. Of it, and I don't care.
Yeah, this does feel like it needs some refactoring, but at the same time it works.
I don't think it does need refactoring. I think it's as efficient as we're going to get, and I think it's totally fine. And in the future, I don't know. So there's two. In the future, you could pull it just to generate pages for the data that you have. But the benefit of generating it for every single one of these is you could have a dedicated page for it, and if there's no data, that's just like a no data page. So people could still land on that page from search results, but then realize that there's no data. And then maybe your insight search only searches the data for pages that you actually have, you know?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
up to you.
So this can be, these dynamic routes can be dynamically used.
Yeah. So the only preview are these pages. You want me to check this out?
Yeah, I was just going to say, you want to push that up?
Yeah.
I was kind of creating like a more static approach where I was creating, I created a let variable inside of race years, or I'm sorry, race cities, and I was just tacking on to it under each one. So under race cities, if you had like let path equal city, and then under year paths, you tacked onto it.
Oh wait, should we erase? Here's. Let me see real quick if I just built it like the triple one like we had before.
Mm-hmm.
Const alt paths. So then in here, you would just do alt paths / city dot value / year dot value / event dot value. And I think that would be it. So it would be easier to read, I guess, but let me.
Yeah, that's sort of the direction I was going. But this doesn't give you much flexibility to do the landing pages the way we discussed earlier.
What do you mean? I mean, it generates the same URLs, you know?
Yeah, but what if you wanted to go to / just the year and see all the events for 2018?
That would be, we would have to build a new index file in event year, and that would be a whole different page. So we would have to do a different generation on each page. So it wouldn't happen here anyway.
Got it.
You have to regenerate those URLs other places, but yeah, that would work too. So which one? I mean, do you want to keep this? It's nice and simple. Might as well. It's not like it's also going to be generated at build time, so just call it a day.
You can also delete that to-do list up at the top. That's probably not needed.
Yep. And the only thing this says changed because I changed it from type to event.
Cool.
And that's it. Do a build.
Did you clean up your desktop for the stream?
I did a while ago. But yes, I put everything into a folder called clean desktop.
I call my junk folder undefined.
I see what you did there.
Back when I came and visited you, I snuck and changed your desktop background, but you never said anything about it.
On my laptop, or
Yeah,
which one?
I don't know.
My personal laptop?
Yeah,
I
think
just
so.
noticed like the other day that it's a default laptop. Did you change it to the default?
No, I tried playing a prank on you that never panned out. I tried like taking a screenshot of your desktop because you had like 50 billion icons. So I took a screenshot of your desktop with all the icons, and then I set the background to the screenshot.
Oh, I never saw that happen.
Really?
See, I got clean desktop. On my laptop or my main computer?
Oh, it might have been your main computer.
My
I forget.
iMac? Anyway.
Yeah, that might have been it.
Yeah, let me push this up for you. So now we should be able to view any of those URLs. We should be able to view like New York. It's all loading the same data, so we won't see it. Oh, I'm not running the server.
Did you already push?
Yep. So we should be able to go to New York. And
Cool.
we should be able to go to Memphis. And they work. And then if you go to like 2020, you get a 404. Cool.
Nice. I pulled it down.
All right. Let's go back to your screen, huh? Why do you have errors? What kind of errors are you getting? I don't think we've gotten one viewer this whole time.
/Memphis /18 marathon. Beautiful.
All right.
So now the cards and stuff should just be able to link to the dynamic routes.
Yeah, but you're not showing. I mean, the cards are not tied into the filter other than just like the city, right?
We created, yeah, so I mean, I don't know if this is data we actually want to use, but we created this JSON data the other night for the cards.
Well, now we would be pulling it from, I think we would move that our routes that we generate to a helper utility or something, and then we would be generating all these results with URLs on them from that, right? Or while we build up generating the cities and the events and everything, we would be doing that dynamically. We were just doing this to kind of, for mock data.
Right.
But ideally, we would be generating all these results in here too.
Okay. So, well, I guess if we go back to our to-do list, update routing structure, can we call this done?
Yeah, the only thing we haven't done for it is like, load the specific data on the page.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. So under this file here, under the main application file, we're importing, well, wait a second. I think we just do, yeah, we do a fetch for year and type.
Yeah, so we would need to update this to kind of match our folder structure, our new folder structure, including the cities. And then if that returns with like a not found, a 404, then we show just a simple thing on the page that says, sorry, we don't have data for this event, even though that has a generated page for it.
Okay, so the
Memphis.
architecture, what's that?
This is all Memphis data, right?
Yeah, so I was just thinking though, do we want the architecture in the public folder to be data, city name, then year, then
Yeah,
type?
I think we should match kind of the URL structure.
Okay.
Just so it's not confusing.
Boom. Okay, so Memphis, year, event type. And then we would update this here. So city, ooh. So the current data fetching is connected to the state of these drop downs here.
Yeah, we need to change that to be not doing that. We should just be pulling from the URL instead. And if you change those, it redirects you to the new URL.
Okay. So where do we want to, I guess we have our routes down here, but
so in the get static props, we need to pass in the URL params to the component so we have access to them.
pass the URL to the component. So that would be in this return method?
No, it would be in get static props, the method above it.
So like as a parameter here, just
nope.
Is there
up, go up, scroll up.
Oh yeah, I see. Params return props.
Yeah. So params is the URL params, and we want to pass in a prop of for each of those. I guess you could pass them all through as params if you want.
So just like params.
Yeah. And then we can just use that in our component.
Got it. Okay, so then on our fetch, it would be like params dot year.
Event, yeah, params dot event year. It would match that URL structure in our pages folder. Yeah.
So event city.
No, it was event city.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my bearings here. Event city, and then this would be params dot event year, And then one more would be type.
Yeah. And then we want to do a catch. So if it doesn't exist, we'll show them like the no results page and not like, error out. Or actually, I think the traditional fetch, it doesn't do a response.json if the response is not okay. I don't know. We'll see. I forgot.
Params, wah wah. Params is not defined. We're using a class component. Does that matter?
No, you can still destructure it from props.
Okay. So for now, can I just do props dot params?
It would be this dot props.
That's
But
right.
I would just destructure it in the fetch new event.
Okay. Anything wrong with saying params equals this dot props dot params?
That would work. Const params.
Is that a bad pattern?
I just think it's silly. I would just destructure it from this dot props.
Okay, so like, you mean to structure it in here? No. Hold
No.
on, don't tell me.
There's no dots anywhere.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Hey, that worked.
That doesn't work. That would break. Actually, no, that would work. You're right. But it would not. I don't think it would do what you think it's going to do.
Okay, so now we should get a 404 with a console log of an error message if we go to like 2020.
Well, that wasn't a valid path to begin with, so that's going to be a 404 page. But if you try to go to
Right, but I thought our dot catch.
Yes, but we didn't make that a valid route, so next is not going to allow us to go to that page to begin with.
Okay.
So if you went to
How
like
can
New
we-
York, because we don't have a New York data file, but that is a valid path.
I see. Okay, so 2018, but then all right, let's look at our error message here. Oh, we're not getting our console log.
Yeah, I think it's because fetch doesn't, the response.json doesn't work. Because if it returns a 404, you need to do like a response.ok check or a response.status check in that first .then. It's kind of the annoying thing about the native fetch versus something like Axios, which will handle it for you. It'll automatically throw the catch.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I need like can I have a dot catch and then a dot then? No.
No, because it'll mess up the order.
So I need
So
something inside here.
inside the dot then, yeah. So I would do like a code block, bigger curly braces, expand it from just one line. And then you can do like if response dot status or status code, I think it might be status code, is equal to 404. Then you can throw an error.
Error is not defined.
Throw new and then capital error. Parentheses.
Parentheses around error?
No, call error.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then pass it like a string, which would be the message, like no data or data not found, whatever you want to call it.
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so from here I can construct that.
Otherwise, make sure you return on line 90. Because now we're not doing the shorthand, so we want to return the response.json.
Oh, good call. So ideally, instead of just throwing an error, we would...
In our catch, we would probably set a state to say like error or no data or something. So we know it's not like just a straight server error, but it's a specifically you just couldn't find the data.
Yeah. I was going to say have like a table with a message inside it.
Yeah, then you can use, if you get that, you can swap it out in your view and know that to show that table instead.
Cool. How are we doing on time?
We're at an hour 33.
Okay. I think this is a good stopping point.
Yeah.
We have some error handling. We have some dynamic routing that we accomplished. We updated our architecture.
Yeah, we're mostly set up for dynamic routes now. There's probably some more gotchas that we could find along the way, but whatever. It's a good stopping point.
Cool, cool. All right.
Don't kill your screen like that. Ugh. Drives me crazy.
What?
What?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about, Habaz? Okay, so we'll be back on Tuesday probably.
Yeah.
Maybe working on this. Probably working on this. You're pretty stoked on it right now, right? So I think we'll keep working on this one.
Yeah, I'm putting some time in on this app. Even in between streams. So it's fun. It's got a lot of traction.
Yeah, and after we get this dynamics thing working, we also, I mean, some other tasks are this scraping other websites, which is a totally different kind of coding than what we're doing now. But also hooking up that search box on the home page and the routing and the cards and whatnot to link to the pages as well. So
yeah, I'm excited about all of these different avenues we can go down with this project. I know a couple months back I took a deep dive into Puppeteer for node scraping, and I was pretty impressed with how far along it had come. If you're a JavaScript developer, the Puppeteer framework now just basically lets you scrape any page using jQuery-like syntax, and
yeah, it's pretty easy.
yeah, it really, I mean, you're still scripting, but it really held my hand through this web scraping process, which had always intimidated me before. So I'm looking forward to revisiting that. And then, yeah, I would love to have this app, marketable in a month or so. But we've got a lot of little polishing things to work on and some features that aren't even addressed yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never actually written a scraper, but I've seen a lot of them written before. CJ writes a scraper like once a month.
Really? Does he use Puppeteer?
No, he usually uses Cheerio.
Hmm.
I think he does like requests the page with something, and then uses Cheerio to kind of pull things out of the page from that. But so Puppeteer would be an interesting way to see it done that way. I don't think I've seen that yet.
Yeah, we can maybe, if I plan ahead, we can maybe do it next session.
Well, whichever one you want to work on next time. Yeah, if you want to practice some of that stuff, and then we can work on that next time. Otherwise, we could also do that front page as well. So it's up to you, big guy. Whatever you want. Habes.
Thanks, Cheddar. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for tuning in. If you ever did, I'm not sure that we got any, but maybe Friday nights are not the best. We'll see. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Okay. Love you. Bye.